we are heading back to the Czech Republic. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's nice to be back. Just in case if you're curious, I know I'm probably going to get a comment. If you see this yellow band, it's from my father. My father recently passed away from cancer, so that's why I've been gone for the last month or so. So bear with me. I know that he would get a kick now that he is going to be highlighted in my vids from now on. So let's bust into this. Czech Republic IMRE. It's a commercial version of the Czech Republic's military ration. It's essentially the same exact stuff that you would find in one of the BDPs, except for this has commercial components inside. It also has some other neat things. And if you watched one of these reviews in the past, you will already know what's in here. What we have menu number 3, and it looks like it contains pork and chicken. And of course, you can see that best buy date on there as well. But I'm sure there's Sherman right there making his presence known. I'm sure by checking the cans, we'll see that this might be significantly longer in duration than by the best buy date. Let's crack into this thing. Now, of course, just looking at this bag, I don't see any tear notches, anything like that on the front or the bottom. Just looks like a simple heat seal, and I happen to have my juice ST right here, so that's what we'll use to slice this thing open. You should always be careful when you slice and open these bags, especially when you're out in the field, because you can use this as a water carrier for water purification reasons and whatnot. Pretty cool that this thing is actually in a tray. It's completely sealed to keep everything inside of this little container that you can also use as a bowl or a plate. Now, getting through this plastic doesn't look like it's very hard to deal with. You have a little tear notch right here to open it up. And it is kind of nice that it helps keep things together, so that way if you have something in here that is exploded, of course it's going to contain it inside of this bag, but it'll also help contain it in here as well, so you can still use this outer bag for water collection or whatnot. Sherman is just going to town behind me. Let's take a look what we have in here. This looks like an antibacterial towel. One of those kind of things. What do we have here? This one is some coffee. It even says it in 2 different languages, but it is just hard to see. Of course, we have the spoon. There's just one. This is actually seems like a little more durable than the ones you usually get. Here is a bar of chocolate. Kind of hard to see. You get one shiny thing on top of another shiny thing on top of another. Okay, right there, that says chewing gum all over it. And this is little grape sugar candies right here. What else do we have? This one is a multivitamin drink. It has it right in English. We have some salt. Kind of hard to see on there. And then these 2 are sugar. And this right here, it essentially just says chicken on its own. So this is nothing but a flexible can of chicken. And like we said, look at the date. It says on this it's good till 2019. This has to be the pork, if that is the chicken. And yeah, it just says ham on there. And again, that is good till 2019. So you always have to be cautious of the best buy dates on things. And then we have 2 crisp breads. It says it is a dark crisp bread and a light crisp bread. And just some 411 on these crisp breads. This light crisp bread, it has wheat flour, whole meal wheat, has a little bit of corn, potato starch, and rye flour. And the dark crisp bread has rice, wheat wholemeal flour, rye wholemeal flour, rye flour, and wheat bran, corn bran, and wheat flour. Usually if it is rice or corn, it is usually a lighter type of crisp bread. But hey, what you gonna do? And also, I usually get these piercing tools in Russian IRP or those kind of rations. I don't think I've ever used one of these on camera. So today I will actually use one of these to pierce these flexible cans. And now we got that out of the way, I'm going to heat these up and we'll make our drinks. Okay, now these drinks, they come with these nice handy little tear notches. Here we have the coffee. And the multivitamin drink. And I'm guessing down here it is 300 ml of water to add, because that is the only measurement that I see on here. And 300 ml is about 10 ounces. We'll give that a stir with our combat spoon. And just so we say that we can use some, we'll throw in one of these little packets of sugar. Okay, we're going to throw everything on a tray, but of course you could always use your styrofoam container to mix all of your food. Then we got our extra sugar, our salt, our moist towelette, or our antiseptic wipe, and of course our drinks. Let's throw this chewing gum down. What can we say on Popular today? This feels like it has 4 little briquettes in here. And they look very reminiscent that you would get in an EPA, a current issue EPA, except for they give you 10 pieces. And then you have these little grape candies. I'm assuming they're probably going to be sort of like boiled sweets, maybe. Not even close. Not even close. They do have an artificial grape smell to them, because I doubt it would be a real grape. But that is pretty nifty. Let's take a look at this chocolate bar. Looks like we have just a little bloom, or not very much bloom at all. It smells like outstanding savory dark chocolate. And it's hard to see on the back, very hard, in fact, but it says contains at least 53% of cocoa. And then we have the, what are these? The dark crisp breads. They're not kidding. They are nice and dark. Get over there, you traders. And then the light ones. And again, living up to their name. When I first tried these, they very reminiscent of styrofoam, and I think that was with that Slovenian ration I did several years ago. But now I have really acquired a taste for these, and I find these extremely delicious. And whenever I can find like the Wassa brand at one of my local grocery stores, I usually try to snap them all up, because apparently everybody else seems to like these now too. And let me put this little guy over here so he can have his own nice little home like those crackers. Okay, use a little Kiwi Dude magic to help clean that up, and this is the ham. And again, we said that we would demonstrate the use of this. Now granted, I am a lefty, but essentially what you do is you take the piercing tool and you pierce the foil, and you just simply drag it around the foil, just like you would do if you had a knife or anything else, and the lid comes off nice and simple with the piercing tool. Genius. And they build it really large like this so you can use this in Arctic conditions with wearing gloves. And not to mention, if somebody pees you off, you could really get them good. Well, this ham looks like it's pretty much a solid mass, but it is a relatively what would be the word? Soft, kind of spam-like mass. What the heck, we'll scoop a little of this out too, our nice little preservative. And then we'll do the same with the chicken. Hopefully we will be just as successful opening this up. Oh, little geyser going on. Thank God we didn't have a Nathan MRE incident. And in fact, this review was going to be held up for a little while, because I took Nathan's advice and I ordered myself a new microphone. The one on this camera is starting to fade away, as I hear it in the comments. So whenever that new microphone shows up, hopefully the audio will increase. Looks like mechanically separated chicken stuff to me, huh? Ooh, there's some nice juices. Ooh, slap. And let's take a gander at this. Again, this is very soft too, but you can actually kind of maybe sort of see some striations in the actual chicken meat. even though I've never cut into a chicken that was this soft, so obviously it is been mechanically separated and strained and placed into this this compact shape for that foil. Well, let's give these things a try. I'm going to try the ham first. Get a big old glob of this stuff. Let me get you a look on the inside if I can. I got a feeling this is going to be very reminiscent of Spam. It's almost spot on for Spam, so if you've ever had that, it's incredibly salty. Even the gelatin is very salty as well. But of course, there's always things that you can do to tone that saltiness down, and we'll go over that shortly. Let's try this chicken over here as well. Now, while this is salty too, you can actually kind of taste like some of the fibers or the muscle fibers of the chicken. It's not as just soft. With this, it's so fine that it's almost like a pate. It's just real creamy. This one, you can actually kind of taste these muscle fibers or striations, which gives it a little more chew. And we'll try one of our dark crisp breads just right on its own. It has a nice, robust, earthy flavor, which is really good. It really is very pleasant, especially when you're thinking how salty this is. This really offsets that taste. So, of course, you could always use these as your utensil to eat these with, or you can crumble these up inside of your ham or your chicken, which always adds a nice, good bit of texture to it as well, at least until these get all sopped up with all of the sauces. And this is the light crisp breads, and they're so nice, soft, and airy. You can see like all those little air pockets in there. I mean, it's almost like taking like a sheet of Cocoa Krispies for those of us in the States. If you want to use that analogy as far as like a breakfast cereal, this tastes extremely similar to like a Cocoa Krispie. And I guess if they had like a wheat type or rye type, it would kind of taste like that. And now, just to cleanse my palate, we're going to try this multivitamin drink. I tried to see what flavor it was, and I couldn't decipher. But it definitely kind of has like a mango-y kind of taste, at least to me. That's pretty tasty. That's actually kind of good. Or maybe like even a grapefruit, but a mango kind of grapefruit. I'm going to try this coffee too, so you know I got it sitting here. It's been staring at me in the face. And I don't know what it is about this kind of coffee. Eastern European kind of coffee just really does it for me. I don't know, maybe I just have cheap taste in coffee, but I like it. Now I'm going to take one of these crisp breads and a little bit of this chicken and plop it on there, and we'll try these things together. Yeah, the saltiness of the chicken and this earthiness of this crisp bread, that texture, it just all kind of balances out. It's really, really tasty. And I'll do the same with this ham over here, if I can cut them apart. Yeah, these crisp breads, they just cut that saltiness just way down. Just make it really quite pleasant and tasty. I'm going to try this one too. Yeah, that's really good stuff. Now, depending where you are or where you live in the world or whatever your dietary requirements, this could be either used as one meal, or you could have one of these and a crisp bread for a meal separately throughout the day. Whatever you want to do with these rations is what you can do. And seeing that this is a commercial ration, we're going to Gundog these things up properly with some extra little spices that I usually try to carry with me when I'm out in the sticks. Now, I always said when I was in the Army, I had a spice pantry with me. So I've got some Cajun seasoning, and I've got a little bit of hot curry. And I don't know how they're going to react with this stuff. I think I'll try the curry on the chicken, and I'll do the blackened seasoning on this ham. Okay, like they say, live daring. It has none of those holes. And again, this is just your standard curry sauce, but I like mine a little on the hot side, and hopefully I won't put too much on here. And then we'll try a little of this Cajun on this side. And all this does is just to bring out some new aromas and some new flavors to add some dimension to this stuff. And then we'll kind of just chop it in just a little bit. So that way you're not taking the just straight up spices. And oh man, the smells of this curry is just powerful. Oh man, this is, I will eat curry in all of its love and great forms. Let's give this a try. I'm dying to. It is a little granular, I have to admit. Ordinarily I'd mix that in a lot more. But man, that curry pops, and this stuff has this nice heat that goes along with it. It just wakes this chicken the heck up. And we'll try a little bit of this ham over here with this blackened seasoning. And I tell you, honestly, if you are stuck out in the middle of nowhere and all you have is like 2 or 3 meals, they get old really quick. But if you have some spice mixes with you, it just takes them to a whole nother planet, like you're eating something new. And I have to admit, I don't think I've ever put in blackened seasoning or Cajun seasoning on ham, but woo-wee, this stuff works, man. This stuff is tasty. I like this stuff. So that was an outstanding idea on my part. It's got that nice zing and that zest to it. Oh man, that's good. Well, I'm going to grab a little bit more of this stuff, a little bit with this curry, and I'm going to stick it on this cracker. I almost busted out and said this here cracker. What is up with that? Wow, you get a little bit of that curry, that cracker. Oh man, you're just gonna have to try this for yourself. Just trust me. Oh man, gonna dash just a little more on here because I like this stuff. I mean, I am a total fan of it. And then we're gonna put a little bit on this and give this one a go. Oh, you see those spices on there? Oh man, this is gonna be good. Wow, that's so good. It just adds so much flavor to this stuff. Seriously, if you grab an IMRE, you have to try that. You have to do it. Let's cleanse our palate so we can try that chocolate and our sugar, grape sugar stuff, and our gum. I've got Sherman and Allie. They're right over there going, hurry up, hurry up. We want our cut. And we have this nice dark chocolate. That chocolate is nice and silky. It's not bitter at all. I'm going to try some of my coffee because these usually tend to go together. Ah, good stuff. And then this great sugar tablet. Who knows? I mean, these could be effervescent tablets, but I don't know. I'm just going to take it as it is. That was interesting. This is more like a slightly grape flavored sugar tablet. Well, that's exactly what it is. But it's not crunchy like a boiled sweet or anything. As soon as you bite into this, it immediately reduces itself into a powder. And I guess it's just so when you're on the move or you're marching that you can have an instantaneous sugar boost to your system. And then lastly, we have our little briquette of gum. And it's definitely tasting like it's a peppermint gum, but it is nice and refreshing. Gives a little coolness and something for you to chew on in between meals. Well, everybody, this was a review of a Czech Republic IMRE, or a commercial ration. Honestly, it was pretty good. After I watched other people's reviews, I'm like, oh, I don't know, but let me tell you, you throw some spices on here and wake that thing up, it's hello. That is the way these should be eaten. Go get yourself a little spice kit and spice these things up. You will not regret it. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Thank you for all the support and love. And I will see you all on my next review. Bye-bye.